O Sol com um olho de vidro de quase 1,5 metros de espessura.
The McMath-Pierce Solar Telescope was the world's largest solar telescope. It was completed in 1962, and it was designed to give as large an image possible of the sun to do spectroscopic studies. It produces an image of the sun 3 feet wide, and that's why it's 500 feet long, so that image is not too hot. The light comes in the top of the telescope, which you can see. It's about 100 feet off the ground, and then it reflects down into a mirror that's at the bottom of this long tube. About 2/3 of this telescope is actually below ground. The main mirror for the telescope is down there 300 feet below ground. And then it's redirected about halfway up the length of the tunnel into different observing rooms using a third mirror. The McMath-Pierce is famous for determining the basic chemical composition of the sun. It's also done some landmark studies in the magnetic properties of sunspots, and it's also been used to look at the planets.
But we mustn't be too blinded by our modern accomplishments, because even more impressive, especially considering its antiquity, is the temple of Kukulkan. Kukulkan being one of the Mayas' main gods. You can see him depicted here as a feathered serpent. But this wasn't just a religious site. Thousands of years ago, this was the McMath-Pierce of its day, an ancient observatory designed to keep track of the sun.
O templo de Kukulkan se localiza no coração de Chichén Itzá, a famosa cidade maia. Em sua época de ouro, a civilização maia estendia seus domínios desde Chichén Itzá, na península de Yucatán, no México, até as terras altas da Guatemala.
They flourished at least from the 1st century BC to the 9th century AD, although as the archaeologists dig down deeper and deeper into the past and excavate the pyramids, they find that Maya habits went all the way back perhaps to the Olmecs and even earlier. So we're dealing here with a continuous, advanced, progressive culture that lasted for more than 3,000 years on our continent. They had an advanced, sophisticated system of writing. They had a precise calendar. They had observatories. They paid a lot of attention to the sky. And of course, we try to compare our astronomy with theirs. We want to know why were they so turned on by the stars.
De fato, a astronomia estava muito ligada à religião para eles. O Sol, a Lua e os planetas eram os deuses dos maias, e isso se refletia em todos os aspectos de sua vida, até mesmo no desenho, formato e orientação dos edifícios de Chichén Itzá. Em nenhum outro lugar a obsessão dos maias pela astronomia e pelo Sol fica mais evidente do que no templo de Kukulkan. A Terra aqui é tão plana que o único meio de os maias conseguirem uma visão desobstruída do horizonte seria construindo um templo muito alto, na verdade, criando sua própria montanha.
In religious terms, the horizon also had an importance, for it was the bringing together, the coming together place of all the sky earth, as it says in the Popol Vuh, the Maya tale of creation. So here then is the meeting place of the gods of the underworld, who live in those 9 layers beneath us, and the gods of the upper world, the world of the heavens, which consists of 13 layers. And that's the boundary line, the surface of the earth, where we mortals, stand and where we pay the debt to these gods of the upper and lower worlds.
From way up here, the Maya watched the sun rising and setting, all the while taking note of something very interesting, something that many of us today don't even realize.
Somente nos primeiros dias da primavera e do outono o Sol se põe exatamente no oeste. Durante o restante do ano ele se põe ao norte ou ao sul do oeste. E vejam, o que ocorre é que nós criamos uma ilusão que se deve à nossa perspectiva centrada no planeta Terra. Na verdade, claro, o Sol não se move em torno da Terra, é a Terra que se move em torno do Sol. E, incrivelmente, a fascinação do povo maia pela marcha anual do Sol para o sul ou para o norte ao longo do horizonte foi o que ditou o formato e a orientação do templo do deus Kukulkan, a serpente de plumas. Também é o que atrai milhares de turistas todos os anos. Em 2 dias especiais, o equinócio outonal e o primaveril, o primeiro dia da primavera e o primeiro dia do outono, exatamente no momento em que o Sol está se pondo, uma coisa fascinante acontece.
Now, to show you what happens, and I promise you it's something very special, I've asked Doug and Ryan to build me my very own temple of Kukulkan.
É claro que será uma versão em miniatura do original, mas será fiel à sua inspiração em todos os detalhes. Isso significa, por exemplo, exatamente 91 degraus em cada escada. Quero ainda a escultura da cabeça da serpente Kukulkan posta onde ela deve ficar. Isso é muito importante, vocês verão por quê em um minuto.
Honey, I shrunk the temple, huh? This is awesome.
Thank you.
Right down to the paint job. I mean, I swear this is stone, but I know it isn't. Right? 91 steps?
91 steps.
Really? I'm not going to bother to count them. I trust you.
This is all Ryan.
Is he? Really?
All Ryan. Beautiful.
Was it
job.
fun?
Foam, glue, and paint.
Really? That's it,
a
huh?
arts and crafts project.
You even got Kukulkan's heads right there where they belong?
A nice little detail.
Yeah.
You did a great job.
All right, so clear the decks because here comes the sun. It's time to put this baby to the test.
Okay. Let's go get our suntan lotion and we're going to work on our tan.
Oh, man. All right.
Fun, Michael.
All right, will do. Good job, guys, really.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Behold the sun god. Okay, so this lamp is going to be my sun, and we're going to pretend that it's one of the equinox days, either the vernal or the autumnal equinox. And what I want you to do throughout this whole thing is to pay attention to what happens along the sides of this main north-facing staircase. Remember, this is north. Those are the heads of Kukulkan. The whole thing is oriented north, south, east, west. So what I'm going to pretend to do here is on one of those equinox days, it's high noon. The whole temple is bathed in light. Nothing interesting particularly so far. Now watch what happens as the sun starts lowering in the sky. And again, pay attention to the side of that main staircase there. Do you see the beginnings? And I'm going to stop in a moment. As the sun lowers, look at that. There is the impression of a snake's slithering body, and what's amazing is that it joins up with the head of Kukulkan. So it gives you the whole impression of the feathered serpent. And now as the sun lowers further, look what happens. The serpent's body appears to go up, slither ever so slightly, upward towards the heavens. And as the sun completely sets, Kukulkan slithers heavenward where he lives. And what I find so amazing about this is think of the pre-planning that went into this. They had to orient the temple just right. They had to plan the dimensions of these steps just right so that when the sun hit them, they created that illusion. And all of that has to be just right relative to the equinox sun. Because look, if I move the sun a little northward or southward, which is where the sun sets most of the year except for the equinox, the illusion goes away. You only see the illusion when the sun is setting due west, which only happens twice a year during the equinox days. None of this seems to me to be accidental, and I am so impressed with the Maya that they were able to do that and even wanted to do it. It's an incredible combination of art and science.
E agora você sabe por que 2 vezes ao ano verdadeiras multidões se dirigem a Chichén Itzá e observam a antiga pirâmide construída pelos maias para mostrar seu amor por Kukulkan e para exibir seu conhecimento em astronomia.
Did the Maya build the building that way deliberately? Did they perhaps discover it after they built the building? It just happened to be a coincidence. Or is this all a fantasy of the modern imagination? Well, I used to believe the latter, but the more I look, the more I see it happen, the more I believe the former. That is, that it probably was deliberately arranged. To begin with, there are so many calendrical and astronomical numbers in that building to suggest that there is some astronomy going on there. And when we measured it, we found that it was kind of cocked out of line relative to the other buildings. You'd have to cock it out of line just that way to make the serpent descend on the equinox.
Para os maias, este templo foi simplesmente um aquecimento. A genialidade astronômica e arquitetônica que levou à sua criação permitiu que eles fizessem muito mais que apenas rastrear o Sol. Inédito.
The story of an ancient world destroyed by a cataclysmic flood. And for thousands of years, the location of that lost world has remained a mystery. I've come here to the Mediterranean to participate in what may be an historic expedition, and you're invited to come along.
Novas revelações sobre a Atlântida. Episódio especial de 2 horas. Nesta 3ª temporada, nenhum segredo é tão antigo que você se aventurar a buscá-lo. Nesta terça, às 22 horas. Em busca da verdade, somente por The History Channel.
altos e baixos da geração do amor. Vicky estreia em julho, somente por The